must be investigated, maybe arrested, maybe refunds be ordered, can be done after they attempted resolution of the matter in a peaceful way. Mr. Speaker, political problems cannot be solved by courts. Political problems cannot be solved by EACC. This is a political problem, and the best way is this intervening committee to sit with them and talk. But Mr. Speaker, when we say that now the other side must refund the money, the other side, all the meetings they have done are illegal and whatever, and yet the committee is just giving us a progress report, I think it's like the Senate is taking a position before even the meeting is convened. It's like the Senate has already decided. But the committee has not recommended to us that we take that position. And Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether Honorable Senator for Kisumu, who is a member of that committee, I'm not sure. But the chair of that committee has spoken to the progress report. Mr. Speaker, I want to request honorable members, and I stood here to say it's premature. I'm just requesting, give them 1 week or 2 weeks. They will come back having made those attempts. There's nothing wrong with attempting a resolution. Mr. Speaker, those of us who practice law, we have been told many times that a bad consent is better than a good judgment. The best judgment that you can give is not like a poor consent. Even it's better to have a poor consent, but a consent between parties. Why can't we give the opportunity to the chair and his committee to go and attempt a political solution? Why are we in a rush, Mr. Speaker? I'm asking that we don't be seen to be partisan as a house. Let the committee go and attempt. And this amendment that is being introduced, it is finalizing this report. And that was not the intention of the chair. I listened to him carefully. So, Mr. Speaker, unless we are saying we have no confidence in what the chairman and the committee are doing, I think it is unfair to take a position at this time. Whether that position is correct or not is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, let us give the committee an opportunity to go and listen, seek a political solution. Let us not take a position now on Nyamira so that we can give all political players, maybe the religious groups, maybe the elders there, to give us a solution that will solve this problem once and for all. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg to oppose that amendment and ask that we let the committee go with the first form of the motion, that they go down to Nyamira and attempt a political solution. I beg to oppose. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kajuang.
Mr. Speaker, the person who represents the people of Nyamira in this House is Senator Okongo Mogeni. He's the one who moved the committee to carry out an inquiry on matters to do with the affairs of the Assembly in Nyamira County. And generally, when a senator escalates such matters to the Senate, we must take it seriously, because it would imply that he may have attempted all other methods of reconciliation and they have failed, and they have seen it fit to bring it to the Senate. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mogeni brought this matter to the Devolution Committee on the 1st of April 2025. I don't think it was a Fool's Day prank. It is 45 days later. We have an interim report, and it is not normal, Mr. Speaker, as you know, that when a statement is requested, that the committee reports back to the House. And I do believe that it's because of the seriousness of this matter that you allowed the committee to report back to the House by giving interim recommendations. Mr. Speaker, my concern is as follows. In those 45 days since Senator Omogeni flagged this issue, laws are being passed in 2 different assemblies. Budgets are being processed in 2 different assemblies. Public participation is ongoing by 2 different assemblies. Withdrawals are being authorized from the County Revenue Fund, perhaps with the authority of 2 different assemblies. This Senate must put a stop to that nonsense, Mr. Speaker, because there's no better way to describe it. Even if this is an interim report, but we must put a stop to that absurdity. It is that absurdity that made the drafters of our constitution introduce Article 192 that allows for suspension of county governments. And the County Governments Act says that where the people or the leadership of the county engage in activities that are detrimental or against the objectives of devolution, what else can be against the objectives of devolution than this thing or this theater of the absurd that we are seeing in Nyamira? Mr. Speaker, I want to recommend that this House, even though this could be an interim report, but we must make strong interim recommendations. Mr. Speaker, I wonder how the control of budget is handling requisitions authorized by two different assemblies. There is a big problem, and I wish that Senator Ojienda would have had even a far-reaching recommendation on the control of budget to stop authorization of withdrawals from an assembly that is not recognized in law. And so, Mr. Speaker, if we are going to go with the persuasion of Senator Mugatana, then Senator Abbas must convince us. This matter has been in his committee for 45 days. What is it that we must do for the people of Nyamira to know that we are serious? And Mr. Speaker, for your information and information of the House, when the governor Nyamira appeared before my committee, this matter played out. My committee resolved to visit Nyamira, but because the devolution committee was seized of the matter, we allowed the devolution committee to pursue the matter. And they are doing it rightly so, because that's where this responsibility lies. We want bold recommendations. Even if the committee is visiting Nyamira tomorrow, but we must put a stop to the leakage of public resources through illegal activities that are being perpetrated by actors in Nyamira. It is for that reason, Mr. Speaker, that I would support these interim recommendations as proposed by Senator Ojienda. But the devolution committee must also move with speed, because if we cannot solve this matter in Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, then this House is as good as useless. Mr. Speaker, I support.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very sad affair.
But Majority Leader, would you wish to get some more information from the Chair Devolution before you make your comments?
I don't mind.
Proceed, Senator Bass.
I want to inform the House. This issue seems to be taking a lot of interest. And I think we did what we said is progressive report. We do not finalize the situation. Two, Honorable Speaker, we have a gazette notice that was gazetted. The venues, what they call Bonge Mashanani. That all the areas that these people are sitting has already been gazetted. Outside there, the respective place for the assemblies. Two, we ask the same questions what Honorable Jog is saying. The control of budget. The control of budget said she does not deal with assemblies. She deals with the finance committee, the finance department of the county, the CEC counties. And that's why she released the fund. So I think I'll ask this House to be patient, because I can see there's a lot of interest and a lot of influences in this issue. Because this is the second time now, before the report is finalized, it's been changed. Otherwise, we can be told we can withdraw, and then other people can take it over.
So,
if
Chair,
they feel that,
are you giving information or you?
I'm informing you.
Opinion?
I'm informing you, Mr. Speaker. This issue has developed a lot of interest in this House. So the committee should be.
Senate Majority Leader, you may decide to use that information. Honorable, let the Majority Leader let us make progress. Majority Leader, let's
Mr. Speaker,
let's make progress.
I have listened to the chair of Devolution Committee, a member that I hold with so much respect, together with all the 9 members that serve in that committee. But I must look them straight in the eye and tell them that you have failed this House. You have failed this House because, honestly, Senator Abbas, for 45 days, 1 to 45, 1.5 months, a colleague of yours has walked up to you and told you that there is an absurd situation in my county where 2 sittings are happening and both are purporting to be the county assemblies of my county. Surely, what will be more urgent? Many times we walk up to each other as colleagues and request that intervene in matters that affect the citizens that we represent in this House. On account of time alone, the length of time that it has taken this committee to give us now a progress report, Mr. Speaker, I must say that something is not right. Secondly, you have had the chair of devolution committee say that the controller of budget told them, oh, you know, we get requisitions only from the county executive. It is her duty, and I am sure when requisitions come, it is stated what that requisition is for, including for county assemblies. That's why we devolved the office of the controller of budget. They have a representative in all our 47 county governments, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, she cannot, either she feigned ignorance, but even when you receive that answer, all the 9 members of that committee, the clerk in that committee, the legal person in that committee, surely you accepted that as an answer. Mr. Speaker, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to be serious if indeed this is a house that caters for the interest of devolution. This matter stinks to the highest of heavens. It is not fair that in a country governed by the rule of law. So if we allow today Nyamira for there to be 2 or 3 sittings, what stops Senator Methu tomorrow from starting another parliament somewhere? Or Senator Wambua in Kitui? You know, Mr. Speaker, surely, what kind of precedence is this that we are setting? I want to make this request because I know we are starved of time, Mr. Speaker. There's also another entity that has really failed us. Our judiciary must stop hiding under the cover of independence, Mr. Speaker. Independence is not cover for incompetence, Mr. Speaker. This judge that sits in Nyamira gives orders that causes this level of confusion. Surely, can they walk out of Nyamira law courts and head to the county assembly of Nyamira and make a determination of what needs to happen? How do you sit as a judge? You are driven home every evening on taxpayers' money while this kind of maladministration is happening and being visited on the people of Nyamira. That is absolutely not right. This is a matter that even the Chief Justice herself needs to bring to her attention. If a judge can issue orders that breaks apart a county and perpetuates a situation where there are 2 sittings in a county assembly, it speaks of their incompetence, Mr. Speaker. And that is not interference with judicial independence. In this house, when we pass laws, Mr. Speaker, when there is lack of clarity, as Parliament, we endeavor to provide clarity. We even inform those that are using, the users of that particular law, what was the intention of Parliament. Can't that judge make a determination of this case, Mr. Speaker, so that in the public interest, this is a matter of great public interest, Mr. Speaker, because money is being lost in Nyamira, as nobody oversights what is happening in the county executive, Mr. Speaker, and these games are continuing while we watch. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, can you direct at the rise of this house, if there is nothing more urgent for the committee, departmental committee on devolution than this particular matter, Mr. Speaker, than to leave this house immediately and head to Nyamira until they resolve this particular issue? Because, Mr. Speaker, honestly, if it has taken 45 days and they are telling us, you're giving us a progress report, Senator Abbas and your team, you cannot be proud of yourself. Each of the 9 senators that serve in this committee, you are letting us down. If each of us was to take our work with the kind of seriousness that you're doing, your work, members of devolution committee.
Senate Majority Leader, there is some more information that Senator Mogeni wishes to share with you. Are you amenable? Sure.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to inform the senator, my good friend, Senator of Kericho, the matter he has raised of injunctions that are being issued by judges. Mr. Speaker, if you read the report that has been tabled by the chair of devolution, indeed a petition was filed by the impeached speaker, being petition number E001 of 2024. If you read the report at page 20, the speaker saw an affidavit where he sought an interim injunction from the courts to stop or to stay the impeachment. The records that have been brought before this House indicate that the Honorable Judge never issued any conservatory order. So the impeachment was never stayed by the court. So I have heard you make remarks about some judges, maybe some orders were issued earlier, but on the impeachment, Mr. Speaker, no orders of stay were issued. 2, before you, I've heard you tell the chair that he should proceed to Nyamira and deal with this matter. Mr. Speaker, if you read the report that has been tabled at page 29, the chair himself says that the sittings, and I want the Senate to listen carefully, that the sittings that may have been held contrary to the provisions of Section 7B2 of the County Government Act are invalid, null and void, and contrary to the law. So as you tell the chair to go to Nyamira, is he going to Nyamira to hit Matoke or to resolve this matter? Because he has already made a finding, Mr. Speaker, that is aligned with the law. What this House should be doing, Mr. Speaker, is to agree with the amendments that have been proposed by Senator Ojenda that agree with the recommendations of the committee, Mr. Speaker. The only mistake, Mr. Speaker, is that all those findings are in the body of the report from page 27 all the way to page 29, but they are missing in the interim recommendations. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the sentiments of senators that if you don't deal with this matter, remember there are similar issues happening in the County Assembly of Taveta. There are similar happenings in the County Assembly of Machakos. This will become the norm, Mr. Speaker, and the money that we appropriate from this House, that we send to our county governments, will end up in the pockets of governors, Mr. Speaker. That's the information I wanted you to have, Leader.
Proceed.
Just to conclude, Mr. Speaker, that's very useful information. And you know, that's a handicap that we suffer because I've tried to locate the report on our tablets. I couldn't find it, Mr. Speaker, because now we have to respond based on what we've had the chair say. I listened to the chair and I think he made reference to certain orders. If that is the case, as Senator Mogeni puts it, Mr. Speaker, then I hold back my comments on what perhaps need to happen with regards to the, what the judiciary has done about this. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, if you think this situation, as Senator Mogeni is saying, is about to get worse, bear in mind that we have already passed a law in this House, Mr. Speaker, granting financial autonomy to county assemblies. This situation will even be worse, because at that point, Mr. Speaker, then the county assemblies will actually be making the determination of how to spend these particular funds. Imagine a situation, Mr. Speaker, where you have two county assemblies fighting over a particular pool of funds, Mr. Speaker. It will be undesirable, and that's why I have said with tremendous respect to Senator Abbas and the team at the Devolution Committee, on account of time, how much time you have taken to resolve this issue, I feel you could have done this House better. It's really unfortunate that 45 days later, we have an interim report with no mention, even from, because I was waiting to hear what will be the final conclusion of this matter and by when. I just heard the chairperson say that you're planning to visit and we'll come back with this particular report. Mr. Speaker, can you maybe, in your wisdom, and even as we try to resolve this particular, seek audience, either for the committee or for the committee of the whole, with the controller of budget. Like I have said, of all the absurd things that have been said, it is the revelation by the chair that the controller of budget says that because she receives exchequer request from the county government, she cannot determine which function of the assembly is benefiting from these funds. These funds is not sent to anybody in the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, because she is a key player in this dispute. And I'm beginning to wonder, Senator Onyonka, given that the controller of budget comes from this particular county, could she be complicit in the conflict, Mr. Speaker? I'm just wondering. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I think that is something that we need to make a determination on. I know many colleagues want to speak on this matter. Therefore, I'll end it at that. I thank you.
Senator Faki.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi pia
Now,
najiunga.
honorable senators will take two from this side, two from this other side, and then we will put this to a vote.
Mheshimiwa Spika, pia mimi nijiunge na maseneta waliotangulia kuchangia mjadala huu kwamba ni makosa yale yanayoendelea kule katika kaunti ya Nyamira. Mheshimiwa Spika, huu mswada ulipokuja mara ya kwanza, hili swala lilipokuja mara ya kwanza kabla ya kamati kuambiwa ichunguze, kulikuwa na umuhimu wa kwamba hili swala limeingia katika hali ambayo si ya kupendeza, kwamba kuna mabunge mawili katika kaunti ya Nyamira ambao yanatoa sheria ama mwongozo tofauti kwa serikali ya kaunti ya Nyamira. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, lawama pia lazima ifike kwa gavana wa kaunti hiyo, kwa sababu gavana wa kaunti ile ndio kiongozi ama ndio mkubwa ama msimamizi wa mambo ya kaunti nzima. Kwa hivyo japokuwa serikali bunge la kaunti lina nafasi ya kufanya maamuzi yake kibinafsi, lakini masuala yote yanakwisha katika meza ya gavana wa kaunti ya Nyamira. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ni aibu kwamba hata kamati baada ya kwenda pale bunge zile mbili hazikuweza kukaa chini na kuamua ni ipi ni bunge ya sawa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiacha swala hili liendelee, nafikiri litaenea katika bunge zingine, vile vile itakuwa ni shida sasa kuweza kulitatua, kwa sababu kila mtu ataona kwamba atakuwa na haki ya kutoa Kenya Gazeti kwamba watakaa mahali fulani, baadaye wakae mahali fulani, huku wananchi wanapata shida na pesa za umma zinaendelea kufujwa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, ipo haja ya swala hili kutatuliwa kwa haraka, kwa sababu ikiwa koti imesema kwamba hakuna amri ya kuzuia kubanduliwa kwa yule spika ambaye alibanduliwa na yule spika mwingine tayari ashaapishwa, hakuna sababu ya kuwa na mabunge mawili. Amebanduliwa. Kwa hivyo nasubiri mahakama mpaka atakapomaliza kesi yake. Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiliacha swala hili, siku nyingine tutasikia kwamba kuna naibu wa rais amefungua ofisi mahali fulani na anafanya kazi ya nchi ya Kenya. Asante. Na wabunge wake wanafanya kazi hiyo. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Lastly, Senator Boni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable
Mr. Speaker,
senators, we are debating on the amendments. You'll have an opportunity to debate the report. So we have, I have the dashboard. So we are going to handle the amendments, and thereafter, each one of you will have an opportunity to contribute to the report. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, what is begging in this issue, even if one is speaking to the amendment or the main report, is action. Action, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to appeal to my brother, Senator Omugeni, the Senator of Nyamira. Politics being what it is, Mr. Speaker, it's quite clear that the two bulls of Nyamira, the governor is controlling one house, and maybe the other bull, Senator Omugeni, is controlling the other assembly. It is on this backdrop, Mr. Speaker, that I appear.
What is your point of order, Senator Omugeni?
You know, Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for my seniors, including Senator Abbas. You know, Senator Abbas made a statement, and I've read through the report. He made a remark to the effect that one group is controlled by a governor and another group is controlled by a senator. I've read the report that he has tendered before this House from page 1 to page 30. I don't feature in that report. So that statement is not factually correct, and that misleading information, Mr. Speaker, is being repeated by Senator Alwale. Mr. Speaker, if you read their proceedings, I don't aid any faction of the County Assembly, Senator Alwale. I have no interest in causing two sittings to happen in the County Assembly of Nyamira. In fact, if that was my interest, I would not have brought this statement to this House. So I want that to be dispelled, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't speak on matters that cannot be substantiated, matters that would be contrary to our standing orders, because Senator Alwale may be imputing bad motive on my person as Senator of Nyamira that I want to cause two sittings. That's not the case, Mr. Speaker. The only thing I'm seeking assistance from this House is to ensure that we have law and order in the County Assembly of Nyamira. That's all.
Very well. Senator Boni. Is your
Mr.
statement-
Speaker, I want to thank the Senator of Nyamira. If you had followed my statement from the beginning, I was not trying to impute. I was saying politics being what it is. Then I said maybe there are two
Senator
goals.
Boni, Senator Boni,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Boni,
Mr. Speaker.
for you to use the word maybe, you must have gotten some facts to buttress that use of that word. If you don't have any facts to support you using the word maybe, please proceed to withdraw. And
Mr.
conclude
Speaker,
your remarks.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know what is happening in Parliament these days. There is freedom of speech in Parliament. Then when a member finishes, a member with a contrary opinion then opines otherwise. Otherwise, this thing of being asked, withdraw, apologize, even the chair sometimes, Mr. Speaker, stops you from making your contribution.
Senator Boni,
Mr. Speaker,
the chair has ruled on this matter. Kindly proceed.
Mr. Speaker, look, we did not come to Nairobi to play around.
I know.
We are not children. We are speaking on important matters of governance. Allow me to flow. Where I am wrong, I'll be corrected.
Senator Boni, abide by the ruling and then continue flowing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with due respect to my brother, I have nothing against you. I have no interest in Nyamira. It is on the strength of the speech by the chair of the committee who has actually brought in the possibility that the two of you control the warring parties. And therefore, I'm free to comment. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the reason why I sat very well with Senator Mungatana about bringing in other parties, including the church and other players like elders, is because he was now pursuing the possibility that it is not points of law, it is just ego amongst two people who are unable to work together. If indeed, Senator Mugeni, that is not the case, then I can tell you the best thing to do so as to resolve this matter quickly is to agree, just like bank robbers, the MCS and the leadership in Nyamira is fighting over money. Mr. Speaker, if that be the case, because the control of budget has refused to be proactive, let us find that this is a breach of the financial control mechanism. Let us also find that this breach is persistent, and Mr. Speaker, therefore, let us invoke Article 225 of the Constitution that gives this House the power to stop for 60 days 50% of the budget that goes to Nyamira, so that both parties will have something to lose and not fight for what they want to benefit, and then they agree to come back on the table. Otherwise, what did you want the chairman of devolution to do? To go with the machetes to Kisii and tease people so that they listen to him? He has come and told us where he is. Mr. Speaker, this is a progress report. We all chair committees. We know how difficult it is for a committee to complete work. You can want to complete work in 30 days, but because of the volume of work that comes to the chair and the secretariat, it can stretch sometimes to 90 days. Mr. Speaker, let us not just give our chairman a bad name so as to slaughter him. It's a good effort, but the House should help him by invoking 225. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, honorable senators, we need to dispense with this motion to amend, and I'll proceed to put the question. That the motion be amended by deleting the full stop at the end and inserting the following words. Subject insertion of the following recommendations after recommendation number 2 in the report of the committee. That the decision and resolutions made by the impeached Speaker and members of the County Assembly that convened outside the gazetted precincts of the County Assembly are null and void. That the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission investigates appropriation and spending of public resources by the impeached Speaker and a group of members of the County Assembly that held meetings outside the gazetted precincts of the County Assembly, and that the Clerk of the County Assembly surcharges and recovers all allowances and funds paid to the impeached Speaker and the group of members of the County Assembly who conducted business outside the gazetted precincts of the County Assembly. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Now, honorable senators, we are now going back to debate the original motion as amended. Senator Kenyua.
Asante Bwana Spika kunipa fursa hii. Bwana Spika, kwanza kwangu nikianza kulivulia njuga mswada huu Bwana Spika, yakiwa na marekebisho. Bwana Spika, ni jambo la kuvunja moyo sana. Ukitembelea gatuzi unapata iko na maspika wawili, iko na maklak wawili na iko na vikao viwili Bwana Spika. Ilhali ni gatuzi moja. Bwana Spika, ikiwa spika ametimuliwa na katika hiki kiti cha kuwa spika, Bwana Spika, hana haja yoyote kuwa na kikao chochote mahali popote Bwana Spika. Lakini Bwana Spika, hata tukiwa tunasema namna hiyo, nimeangalia nikaona ya kwamba kuna hizi sehemu ambazo kwa lugha ya Kiingereza wamesema zimegazetiwa Bwana Spika, ambazo zinapaswa kutumika kama vikao maalum. Bwana Spika, idara za serikali zinachangia kwa kuchanganya wananchi wa Kenya Bwana Spika. Unapata ya kwamba mahali ambapo hiki kikao cha Nyamira ambapo hawa madiwani wamekutana Bwana Spika, wanatumia sheria, kwa sababu nikiangalia naona ya kwamba, na nimemsikiza mwenyekiti akituambia ya kwamba tayari hiki kikao chenyewe ni gazeti Bwana Spika, na ninaangalia gazeti notice ambayo ilipeanwa Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, ni kama tuna idara tofauti za serikali. Idara ambayo inasema ya kwamba ndio kuna wale ambao wanapaswa kuwa mashinani Bwana Spika, ndio kuna wale ambao wako katika ile sehemu ambayo imetengwa maalum ya hawa madiwani kukutana. Bwana Spika, idara za serikali zinapaswa kuwa zinawasiliana, si kupeana mambo kiholela Bwana Spika. Kwangu inakaa ni kama ni muujiza Bwana Spika, kama si maajabu Bwana Spika. Nimemsikiza seneta wa kutoka Nyamira akielezea yale mambo ambayo yanatendeka huko Bwana Spika. Na unapata ya kwamba kama ni hela Bwana Spika, zinapeanwa kwa gatuzi hizi mbili Bwana Spika. Ninataka kuunga mkono Bwana Spika, ikiwa pesa zinatumika kwa katika gatuzi ambayo haifai Bwana Spika, wanapaswa kurejesha Bwana Spika. Na vile vile Bwana Spika, ninashindwa kwa nini sisi tunaandika kwa mate na wino upo. Bwana Spika, haya mapendekezo ambayo tunapendekeza hapa, tusipendekeze mapendekezo ya kupoteza muda Bwana Spika. Kwa sababu seneti hii wakati mwingi tumefanya mapendekezo Bwana Spika, na tunaenda nyumbani na mapendekezo yale hayafuatiliwi Bwana Spika. Langu ni kuuliza, kwa sababu kamati ambayo inahusika imekuwa ikilishughulikia lile jambo kwa zaidi ya siku 45 Bwana Spika, na watu hawajapata majibu Bwana Spika. Nina uhakika ya kwamba hii seneti isikue yenyewe tutapeana mapendekezo na yawe tu ni mapendekezo ambayo hata hayatatiliwa nani na kufuatiliwa Bwana Spika.
Senator Kinyua, ungependa kujulishwa na Senator Muma.
Lakini kwa sababu Kiingereza mimi hukinichanganya, kwa Kiswahili nitafurahia. Kama ni Kiingereza
Senator Muma kwa Kiswahili. Senator Muma kwa Kiswahili.
Speaker, I think I have the right to choose the language with which to speak. So allow me to do so.
Senator Kinyo.
Naomba
Senator Kinyo.
aya, wacha nijaribu.
Jaribu.
Bwana Spika, asante sana Mheshimiwa Kinywa kukubali nikushauri ama nikujulishe. Ningependa kukujulisha na kujulisha nyumba kwamba hili neno halikuangaliwa na kamati ya ugatuzi peke yake. Bwana Spika ama mwenyekiti aliamuru ya kwamba kamati ya justice, kamati ya sheria, uwiano na haki za binadamu iangalie mambo ya kisheria ambayo yanahusiana haya mambo ya Nyamira. Kile ambacho hatujaelezwa leo ni kama hiyo kamati imemaliza hiyo ripoti, kama kamati imetekeleza vile mwenyekiti alisema. Sio vizuri tuendelee kashifu kamati moja na hatujapata ile ripoti ya kamati ya pili. Asante sana.
Asante Bwana Speaker. Bwana Speaker,
what's your point of information, Senator Hillary Wakili? Point of information or point of order?
I'm okay. I want to be informed by Senator Wakili.
Kwa Kizungu ama Kiswahili?
English is okay.
Senator Wakili.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Ningependa kumjulisha mwenzangu vile Senator mwenzangu Muma amesema, kamati yetu ya sheria tayari ishapewa jukumu la kuiangalia mambo mawili na tumeipangia mkutano Ijumaa. Tuko tayari kuiendeleza, alafu tutatoa mapendekezo yetu. Hivyo ni vile ningetaka kujulisha mwenzangu Senator Kinywa kuhusu yale tushapangia kama kamati ya sheria na haki za kibinadamu.
Bwana Spika, hiyo ni dhahiri shahiri kwa hii kamati imezembea katika kazi yake Bwana Spika. Kwa sababu zaidi ya siku 45 Bwana Spika hawajalivalia hili junga, na ni jambo la muhimu zaidi Bwana Spika. Wananiambia kwamba hawajakuwa na kikao kuliangalia hili jambo. Na ilhali unaangalia Nyamira, hela zinaendelea kutumika kwa njia isiyofaa, kwa sababu kuwa na vikao viwili na gatuzi moja Bwana Spika, inaonekana wale kamati hii ikiongozwa na Seneta Wakili hawalioni ni kama ni jambo la manufaa, jambo la muhimu, jambo la dharura Bwana Spika. Wanapaswa kuwa wakituletea ripoti kutuambia, hata nataka afueni kamati ya gatuzi wamefanya jambo. Kamati ya sheria haijaliangalia Bwana Spika, na wao ndio wanapaswa kuwa kiliangalia. Bwana Spika, nikimalizia nataka kusema ya kwamba naona gazette notice ambayo ni ya tarehe 23 Novemba mwaka wa 2024 ambayo inasema ya kwamba wamekubali kuwe na vikao mahali kunaitwa Masaba North Sub County, Nyamira Sub County Office, Manga Sub County Office, Borabu Sub County Office. Bwana Spika, ndiposa ninauliza kwa nini idara za serikali zinakubali mambo kama haya yakitendeka? Bwana Spika, nashukuru na naunga mkono ya kwamba hivi vikao visitishwe na tuwe na kikao kimoja ambacho kinakubalika. Bwana Spika, nashukuru.
Senator Enoch Wambua.
Speaker, I have a big file here, so I need some surface.
Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity to contribute to debate on this motion. Speaker, I wish the chairman of devolution was in the chamber, because there are certain things that I want him to hear, but because I can see some members, they will take note. One, Mr. Speaker, is that under Section 7B2 of the County Governments Act, a resolution of the Assembly following all the procedures of debate is necessary to designate a sitting outside the gazetted premises of any assembly. Now, Speaker, it is very clear in their own report, interim report, that they have made a finding that the sittings that have been gazetted outside the designated chamber of the assembly, those sittings, Mr. Speaker, were not a product of a resolution of the County Assembly of Nyamira. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I feel like I'm speaking to myself. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I find it difficult to continue with my contribution. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I'm finding it difficult to continue with this submission because...
Senator Hillary, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I want to help the Honorable Chair to manage Honorable Senator Olekina and the minority leader who are entirely disrupting the proceedings that Wamboa is doing. We desire to listen to the Honorable Senator as he submits, as well as the Chair to coordinate and manage the House. Are they in order for them to continue consulting the Speaker when the Speaker is speaking to the House?
Thank you, Senator. Senator Wamboa, please proceed with your submissions. I'm just consulting with the leadership of your side on a matter which touches on your side. No, you can proceed. I can multitask. I can multitask, Senator Wamboa.
I don't doubt that, Mr. Speaker. The only problem I have with that, Mr. Speaker, is that the chair of the committee is not in the House. So I want to address the Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, one of the issues that we are dealing with here is different assemblies in one assembly. I'm seeing a semblance of the same thing as the Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, if it is possible that because the consultation is important, I can sit back and wait.
Proceed, Senator Wamboa. We've concluded.
But what we are doing, Mr. Speaker, is not right. Let's just go on record. I think what we are doing is not right. Honestly. What is happening is not right.
Senator Wamboa, proceed. I'm listening.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's okay, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, so what I was saying is that the Assembly needed to pass a resolution for there to be sittings outside the designated chamber of the County Assembly of Nyamira. The Speaker, in the findings of the committee, in their interim report, the Speaker, the committee has found that that resolution was not granted. As long as the Speaker, any place that the Assembly has sat, which has not gone through the process of designation as the Speaker, and any decisions that have been made out of those sittings as Speaker, those sittings and the resolutions made in those sittings are null and void. And that is a plain reading of the law, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to take serious issue, and I will be the last person to impute any improper motive on any person, any leader, or any committee. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to take great exception to the way this matter has been handled by the devolution committee. In all due respect to the committee. In all due respect to the committee. Speaker, this is a very serious issue. This matter portends an existential threat to devolution as we know it. And you see what has happened is that now county assemblies are borrowing from what is happening in Nyamira. I stand here as the Speaker to inform this House that in the county assembly of Machakos, something very funny has happened. The MCRs move a motion. They want to impeach the Speaker. There is chaos in the assembly. And the Speaker from our office writes a letter closing the assembly indefinitely. Mr. Speaker, now as we speak today, the county assembly of Machakos has been closed, Senator Mugatana, indefinitely by a letter from the Speaker because he was facing impeachment. Honorable members, I would have expected that this committee, and I said I don't want to impute any improper motive on any senator, but members, this through the Speaker, this committee plays such a crucial role in the success of devolution that the Speaker allowing such things to happen. Today it is Nyamira and Machakos. As I said, you don't know what is going to happen to Nyandarua tomorrow. You don't know what is going to happen to Bomet the day after tomorrow. As Speaker, this committee of devolution of the Senate must make serious recommendations and apply themselves to the situations that they face on the ground in as far as devolution is concerned. As Speaker, lastly, I want to say this. I have heard that the committee wants to go back and have sessions with the governor, also wants to have a session with the senator, who is actually the leader who brought the question to this House. And I'm wondering, Mr. Speaker, what kind of appointment does the Committee on Devolution need with the Senator of Nyamira to deal with the matter of Nyamira County Assembly? It never occurred to me that the Senator of Nyamira is so inaccessible that the committee has got to make an appointment, take more than 45 days to have a sitting with him to discuss a crisis that is happening in Nyamira. Mr. Speaker, I think a time has come that all of us, including myself, must begin to take the business of this Senate a lot more seriously. For a chairman to put it on record that 45 days later, he's planning to meet the Senator of Nyamira and discuss the issues of conflict in the County Assembly of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. It's a slap on the basic intelligence of the people of Nyamira and the senators in this House, Mr. Speaker. It should not be allowed to happen. There are some statements that should not be made by chairmen of committees, Mr. Speaker. And I'm saying I do not want to impute any improper motive on anyone. I just want us, all of us, Mr. Speaker, before we seek to be respected by the national executive and the county executives, Mr. Speaker, as a Senate, as committees of the Senate, we must respect ourselves. We must dignify ourselves before we can ask other people to respect us and treat us with dignity. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I support.
Senator Thangwa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. When I read the motion as it is today, I don't know whether to support or to oppose. Mr. Speaker, because what has been added goes deeper than what this House is supposed to do, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will be giving my full, whether I support or not support at the end of my contribution. Mr. Speaker, I want to remind this House that this issue of Nyamira was directed, Nyamira County Assembly, was directed to the Devolution Committee, which I'm a member. Mr. Speaker, we have scrutinized this issue as members of the committee. We have even invited the Senator of Nyamira, Senator Omogeni, in the committee. So it is wrong to say that he has not been invited, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the order paper today, you will see, if they are not wrong, that the report that we are debating today, Mr. Speaker, was tabled on 17th of April, 2025. That's almost a month ago. So I don't know whether it is the committee or it is the Senate as it is, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this issue of Nyamira is an issue that we need to comb with a toothpick, as they say, because we might be curing half of the issue, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in Nyamira there are two speakers. One impeached, as I say, who is holding sessions away from the precincts of the assembly. That is one fact. There is another fact, Mr. Speaker. Another speaker is holding the sessions inside the precincts of the assembly, Mr. Speaker. That's another fact. Fact number two, Mr. Speaker, the one who is holding the sessions away from the assembly precincts, Mr. Speaker, is breaking the law. The one who is also holding the sessions in the gazetted county assembly is also breaking the law, Mr. Speaker. I will tell you why, because I'm a member of this committee and I know it. Because the speaker, who is purported to have been voted for by other MCAs, Mr. Speaker, is a sitting MCA, Mr. Speaker. And the law says, Mr. Speaker, you cannot be, or you have to elect a speaker who is not an MCA, Mr. Speaker. That speaker, who is purported to be the current speaker, the substantive speaker of the County Assembly of Nyamira, is a sitting MCA.
Senator Paul Thangwa, I'm being informed that you seconded the motion.
It is a new motion, Mr. Speaker, because there is amendment. It has a new amendment. Mr. Speaker.
Just a moment, Senator Paul Thangwa. Just give me a minute. Senator Paul Thangwa, unfortunately, it is the same motion. So you cannot debate it again. I would have to stop you right there and give to the next Senator Joe Newtu. Joe Newtu is not here. Senator Gloria Oruoba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this motion with the amendments that have been brought to the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, I listened carefully to my colleague, Senator Mungatana, who said that we should not be quick to go in and recommend and do things before the committee is done. But Mr. Speaker, I want to remind this House that we are constantly saying that we do not want to be the morticians of things. We do not want to keep waiting until when things are done is when we are being called upon to do oversight over matters that have already been concluded. So, Mr. Speaker, this is actually one of the motions where we are going to set precedents as this House. As a House that is protecting devolution, a House that is ensuring that devolution works, I believe that the actions that we take in terms of the matter of Nyamira...
Senator Roba, I'll just interrupt you briefly, if you can take your seat. I have a communication from the chair. Honorable Senators, I have been approached by the Minority Leader and the Senate Minority Whip seeking clarity on the suspension of Senator Eddie Okech during the sitting of the Senate this morning. Honorable Senators, I have reviewed its directions given by the presiding officer and further confirmed from the presiding officer of the exact direction that she had given. I have established that the suspension was for the remainder of the morning session pursuant to Standing Order number 121. I therefore admit Senator Eddy for this session. Thank you. Senator Gloria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, whatever the House decides to do in terms of the issue that is affecting Nyamira County is actually going to set precedents in terms of how we protect devolution as the upper house, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, I have listened to my colleagues debating and weighing in on the matter. Mr. Speaker, I happen to have the privilege of coming from Kisii County, which is a neighbor of Nyamira County, Mr. Speaker. And I can tell you that as much as we joke about Nyamira County being our younger brother or our younger sister, Mr. Speaker, these issues are completely affecting the development of Nyamira County, Mr. Speaker. It's not just a matter of conducting two separate assemblies. Mr. Speaker, in the last financial year, Nyamira County lost 19 billion, which cannot be accounted for. And when you look at the matters that are going on in Nyamira County, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether I should pause and wait for Senator Eddy to maybe give a prescribed apology now that he's back from his suspension. Mr. Speaker, I would like to say this. It's not just an issue of two separate assemblies. Mr. Speaker, Nyamira County lost 19 billion Kenya shillings in the last financial year. And we are still yet to be told what happened in terms of accountability of those funds. Right now, we are being told that the county assembly is actually receiving funds through the controller of budget. And I have heard my colleagues saying that the controller of budget will only follow the law and has to send the funds because they only deal with the CEC of finance. Mr. Speaker, let it be on record that the controller of budget is actually living in this planet. She's from Nyamira County, and she's aware of the things that are happening in that county. So as much as we are all trying to be independent, Mr. Speaker, it is an outright abuse of office, what is happening in Nyamira County. Mr. Speaker, one of the recommendations that I think, which did not make to the amendments, is that we should stop funding this county assembly until they put their house in order, Mr. Speaker. I believe that in a time where no one can tell you which is the legitimate assembly, then we also can decide that the county is not functional. So we should stop funding them in terms of having the exchequer send all this money that we are losing. As I've said, 19 billion was lost in the last financial year. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, one of the things that we are not debating in this House, I've heard Senator Boni Alwale saying that it is political. And if it is political, then maybe we need to find a political solution, and maybe the senator for Nyamira County, my colleague, Senator Omogeni, should be able to work with the Committee of Devolution and find a political solution. Mr. Speaker, as much as it is political, we have to remember that as the upper house, we are here to protect and defend devolution. And at the point where that becomes an issue, then everything else has to be put aside so that we might be able to protect and defend devolution. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to support the amendments of this, I want to support this motion with the amendments. I also want to say that I'm a bit disappointed with the devolution committee, because I know that probably they don't have the authority to go there and stop things. But for instance, Mr. Speaker, this report should have come in earlier so that we could have debated it earlier, so that we actually make sure that we are not losing more funds as we are wasting time in terms of tabling reports to the floor of the House. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I want to say that Nyamira County is a county that, if governed well, can really produce a lot of good things for the benefit of this country. Mr. Speaker, you know Kisii County and Nyamira County, if we decide to focus on farming We can feed the whole of this country without even importing any form of food, not maize, not sugar, not nothing. So this is an issue that the whole country should look at, because it's not just Nyamira County. It is actually affecting, there's a whole domino effect around the assemblies and them not functioning or otherwise. Mr. Speaker, I beg to support the report, and I want to thank Senator Omogeni for continuing to do his work at in Nyamira, and for continuing to make sure that he's independent, devoid of everything that is happening there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the matter before us is very, very, very weighty. And I think Senate is under a major test to see how we are going to resolve this matter. Mr. Speaker, I have read the report by the Devolution Committee, and I think more should have been done, because there are instances of clear violation of the law, clear violation of law by both parties, which I think the committee should have done more to ensure that the law is upheld. Mr. Speaker, I think there is a serious problem with Nyamira County. As the chair of CPIC, I have had a lot of problems dealing with this county, and particularly the governor of this county. In fact, there are about 5 counties which, Mr. Speaker, they are in a category of their own when it comes to matters of governance, accountability, and transparency, where impunity rules. What we are discussing now, Mr. Speaker, this is impunity of the highest order, where people have decided to violate the law, people have decided to create their own law and operate in their own space. If you look at the history of this matter, Mr. Speaker, you realize that it started with the attempted impeachment process against the governor. Then it went to the speaker, and then it created the 2 parallel assemblies. And then they amended the standing orders so that they could carry out this impeachment. Mr. Speaker, the overall effect of all this is that there is no oversight in Nyamira County because of the 2 parallel houses, because of the inability of the county assembly even to enforce appearance of the county executive committee members before them. So we are in a very, very, very serious situation at the moment. And that's why I started by saying how I wish the committee would have done better than what I have read in their report. Mr. Speaker, this is also a clear sign of interference into the management of the county assembly, starting with the governor himself, Mr. Speaker. And we have seen how the county executive of Nyamira has behaved when they appear before Pick and Pack. They clearly demonstrate that they are not ready to be held accountable. And if they can do that to the Senate committees, then what about the county assembly? So what is happening here, the elephant in the room, is that there is every effort is being made to frustrate oversight, accountability, and good governance of Nyamira County. And I think that's where the committee should have put their focus on and ensure that the right things are done for the good of the people of Nyamira. So I want to encourage the committee, since this is a progress report, to try and do better than what they have presented before us. And Mr. Speaker, you know, devolution committee is the interface of this Senate. It is the interface of this Senate. Most of the issues that affect devolution entirely are supposed to be handled by this committee. I know there are numerous outstanding matters which have not been handled yet, Mr. Speaker. For example, the intergovernmental relation mechanism. I think it's a high time, Mr. Speaker, we had a proper law governing that in this House that would address some of these challenges. You have seen the response from the controller of budget. It is not justifiable. Mr. Speaker, how does the controller of budget appropriate money to this county assembly? How does the controller of budget adopt an illegal budget, an illegal supplementary budget, and we leave her to go scot-free, Mr. Speaker? I think something has to be done around there, because the public funds must be protected, even as the two assemblies fight, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is also an opportunity to relook at the County Government Act 2012 in terms of location of sittings of county assemblies and even ourselves here. Probably this matter of bunge mashinani has to be.
Your time is up, Senator Osotsi. Senator John Metho.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Commissioner Joyce Korir. Honorable Speaker, I also welcome back my brother, Senator Eddie. We missed him. He's a young legislator in this House, and it's always a pleasure to have him around here. My age mate, who now crossed over and took over from where I left. Honorable Speaker, he's a bit older than me. But, Honorable Speaker, first I would want to express my dissatisfaction and displeasure by a comment that has been made by the chairman of the committee, Senator Abbas. And I actually wonder whether there was a legal person in that committee, and they had a researcher who was advising that committee when the controller of budget said that there is no way he can be able to help stopping funds coming to the county assembly. And Honorable Speaker, unless anything has changed, for as long as I know, the way funds are appropriated and are withdrawn from the county revenue fund, requisitions are prepared by the clerk of the county assembly, and they are only transmitted to the control budget through the CEC. Honorable Speaker, there is no role of the CEC in as much as preparation of the monies that goes to the county assembly, Honorable Speaker, or requisitions that are going to the county assembly. There is no comma, there is no full stop that is added by the CEC, Honorable Speaker. So therefore, if indeed the control of budget wanted to help in ensuring that money is not misappropriated in the county assembly of Nyamira, and this is not an isolated case, Honorable Speaker, she had the honors and the responsibilities on her. And Honorable Speaker, may I invite you to look at our Constitution, Honorable Speaker, Article 207(3), money shall not be withdrawn from a revenue fund unless the controller of budget has approved that withdrawal. Every money that shall be misappropriated in the county assembly of Nyamira, the responsibility will be on the control of budget, because it is the control budget who will have released that money and who have allowed the withdrawal of these funds from the county revenue fund. Honorable Speaker, it is this constitution that gives the control budget the powers that she enjoys. And I also want to draw your attention to Article 2285 of the Constitution of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, the control of budget shall not approve any withdrawal from a public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawal is authorized by law, Honorable Speaker. All the monies that are going to the county government of Nyamira, be it the county assembly or be it the county executive, Honorable Speaker, the control budget must be satisfied. That is the leading of the law, Honorable Speaker. It's not me who wrote this constitution, Honorable Speaker. If anything, I'm just a farmer. There are many even better advocates in this House, Honorable Speaker. The control of budgets must be satisfied. That is what the law is saying, must be satisfied. Article 2285, the control of budget shall not approve any withdrawal from a public fund unless satisfied that the withdrawal is authorized by law. So the monies that are going to the county government of Nyamira, be it the county executive, be it the county assembly, the control budget must say that I am satisfied 100% that these withdrawals that are happening at the county revenue fund are backed by the law. So it is a defeatist argument, Honorable Speaker. It is a very defeated argument by the chairman of the devolution committee to come and say that the control budget said that he is helpless. It is not true. It is not true, Honorable Speaker. Requisitions that are coming from the county assembly are never prepared by the CEC for finance. That is not true. Requisitions are prepared by the clerk. The accounting officer of the county assembly is not the CEC, Honorable Speaker. It is the clerk of the county assembly. So therefore, if indeed there is money that is being withdrawn by the impeached speaker, and we have been told again, Honorable Speaker, and many people want to say, oh, there is politics, there's a group that is aligned to the governor, there's another group that is aligned to where it doesn't matter. The matter has been brought to the Senate. It is for us to decide out of these two groups, which is the legitimate group, Honorable Speaker, so that the other group, Honorable Speaker, cannot continue withdrawing this money. Honorable Speaker, tell me, if some people are sitting in a corner and they call themselves a county assembly, they have no legitimacy. There is no court order that the Speaker, or there is no conservatory orders that stayed the impeachment of the Speaker, Honorable Speaker. How, therefore, does the Speaker continue withdrawing money from the county revenue fund, Honorable Speaker? There is no explanation that the Committee on Devolution can give to this House, Honorable Speaker, and they don't require even to go to Nyamira. What are they going to do to Nyamira? I want to ask, like Senator Wambua, is Senator Okongo Omogeni so inaccessible that we have to go and look for him at Nyamira? What does the governor have to do in determination of a matter as to who is the legitimate county assembly of Nyamira, Honorable Speaker? So therefore, I am disappointed, where I support, in fact, had we not gotten this amendment from Senator Ojenda, that report of the Committee on Devolution, in my opinion, was completely underwhelming. It was very underwhelming, Honorable Speaker. Had we not gotten this amendment from Senator Ojenda, Honorable Speaker, I don't think we would have done justice to the people of Nyamira, to the County Assembly of Nyamira, because the people who hold the primary responsibility of oversight, Honorable Speaker, is the County Assembly. It's not even the Senate. The people who hold the primary responsibility on oversight, it is the County Assembly. If the County Assembly cannot play the oversight role on the County Executive, therefore, Honorable Speaker, even the reports that we shall be looking at the County CPIC of Senator Senator Kajwang,
Yes, Senator Margaret Kamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this interim report. Mr. Speaker, may I confirm to the House that I'm a member of this committee and that I was present actually when we interviewed the team that came from Nyamira. Mr. Speaker, as Senator Tangwa said before you were stopped, we are dealing with two groups which were illegal, and I think we made those observations. Illegal in the sense that the original speaker was suspended, but there is nothing called suspension. So the members of the assembly were wrong to do the suspension. That was the first thing that we noted. The second thing is that they seem to have noted that because after suspending and crudely ejecting the speaker, they were called to go to court and they went to apologize. It was after the apology, Mr. Speaker, that they came back and did the right thing to impeach. Mr. Speaker, according to the standing orders of Nyamira, which are like our own standing orders, the Assembly has a right to impeach. During the impeachment, Mr. Speaker, actually they even invited the Speaker and allowed Okero to take care of himself, to defend himself. And after the defense, after it was done procedurally, he was actually impeached procedurally. What happened, which surprised the committee, is the fact that in the point of being impeached, this speaker who had been impeached went to court, and when he was given a small brief, although there was no ruling, because we went through the court statements, and there was nothing to give a stay, he actually took advantage and suspended the clerk. And that is how he came up with his own clerk, and the parallel group started emerging. At the same time, after the assembly, if you read the report, after the assembly had had actually impeached successfully, according to the standing orders, the speaker, they elected the deputy speaker to be the speaker. Remember, Mr. Speaker, the deputy speaker is a member of the county assembly. So we are dealing with another illegality, because he was elected when he was still an MCA. So again, we have served as a committee that we are dealing with two illegal leaders. The impeached speaker started holding his meetings because he could not be allowed to come to the premises by the MCAs who had elected their own speaker. Now, if you look at the recommendation, and I want to go straight to the recommendation so that the committee is not misblamed or blamed for the things that they didn't do. If you read our observations properly, we have brought issues out. But if you go to the recommendation itself, we made a recommendation, Mr. Speaker, and I dare say I'm the one who laid the report in this House on the 17th of April. We are being blamed for 45 days, but actually we brought this report in 17 days. 17th of April is when I laid the report on the table. It is this House that delayed, so the 45 days don't belong to us. We did our work within 17 days, we laid the report, and we are waiting for our recommendations to be either accepted or rejected. These meetings should have taken place soon after the 17th. So for that reason, Senator Mogeni, and they are disrupting him now, it should come out very clearly that since we laid the report on the table of the House on the 17th of April, we cannot talk about 45 days. We gave our report on time. Now, after giving the report on time, we gave two very strong recommendations, which nobody is referring to in this House. Please don't blame the committee for what they did not do. What did we say? In recommendation number 1, we said pursuant to section 7B2 of the County Governments Act Gazette, whatever, the sitting of the county assembly be held at the county assembly premises. That was what we agreed. The second one.
Give the senator 1 minute to conclude.
Please give me 1 minute, because I'm a member of the committee and I want to clarify two things. That is what we agreed as a committee. That's what we accepted. We wanted this House on the 17th to come and rule on. Because if you had accepted, this communication should have gone to Nyamira, and the people of Nyamira should have been, the Assembly of Nyamira should have been in the right venue. Number 2 was that pending the determination of the court cases, the County Assembly resumes its normal operations in accordance with the Constitution. What is the Constitution? The Constitution is to use the right venue, and the MCAs have a right to follow the standing orders. In the standing orders, Mr. Speaker, there are two things that are very clear. Number 1, in absence of the speaker, because they didn't have a speaker, all the two of them were not had already been dismissed in our observations. They could actually have a member of the speaker's panel. So they had a right to move to the right venue and continue until we go back, because we wanted to visit and clear this thing with the assembly. In fact, we are not talking of going to see a governor. A governor has nothing to do with the county assembly. It is only a pity that the comptroller of budget was put in a very awkward situation, because the controller of budget came out clearly and said, it's ended.
Your 1 minute is up, Senator Kamar. Senator Joyce Korir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I've also to support the report from the Committee on Devolution. with amendments. Honorable Speaker, I've had a number of colleagues spoke to this report, and I want to say, Honorable Speaker, this is a house that is being waited by the entire country to give directives to the Assembly in question in terms of how best they can discharge their mandate. Honorable Speaker, I would also want to congratulate the Honorable Senator from Nyamira County, Honorable Omugeni, for taking lead in making sure that he assists the committee in terms of getting a lasting solution. But, Honorable Speaker, there are a number of questions that are running through my mind. One is that, Honorable Speaker, we don't have a cap in terms of statutory instruments that are supposed to guide us on where the Assembly is supposed to be sitting. That is one. Number two, Honorable Speaker, we don't have a cap in terms of directing the control of budget in terms of remittance of the monies to the assemblies. We don't have a cap. The statutory instruments are there. It is well stipulated. The only problem that we have in this country is the implementation part. We will keep blaming each other. We are blaming the assembly. We are blaming the two groups within the county assembly. We are blaming the Senate. We are blaming the committee. The blames are all over. Yet we have the instruments that can assist us in making sure that things work the right way. Honorable Speaker, a number of colleagues have spoken. This is a problem that is going to split over to the 47 counties. Remember, we are a house that are supposed to set a precedence that is going to be followed in any other day. Such an occurrence is seen, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, by so saying, I want to stand with the amendments that has been suggested by Honorable Ojenda. But I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that despite the fact that we are saying it was tabled on 17th, it has taken time. I would want to see, Honorable Speaker, an instruction by the Senate committee instructing the counties to do what is right. These blame games should stop. We are using public resources. We are mistreating the members of the public. We are crying day and night about the prudent use of the resources. It is high time that this Senate wakes up and do what is entailed to do. Honorable Speaker, it has been a blame game. Despite the issues that the committee is supposed to move to the ground, I was waiting to see a number of recommendations that are supposed to be undertaken by the county assembly. That is the only way out, Honorable Speaker. We are not talking here to please one another. We are not just talking because we want to debate. We don't want just to be seen because we are a Senate House that is in charge of devolution. We need to see actions taken. We need to see a serious recommendation by the committee to make sure that things work the right way. So I don't want to say much, Honorable Speaker. I just want to say that I would ask the committee to still relook at this thing. Let's work. 45 days is a long day. This is something that needs to have a time frame because it is affecting the members of the county assembly, it's affecting the residents of Nyamira County, it's affecting the name of the Senate and the role of the Senate. Thank you, Honorable
What's your
Speaker.
point of order, Senator Mungatano?
I really didn't want to intervene, Mheshimiwa Joyce, because she's a great senator. But Mr. Speaker, is she in order factually under 105 to suggest that the report stayed for 45 days, yet a member of this committee has clarified that they tabled it within 17 days and they acted very swiftly, and it is this House and the SBC that did not bring it for debate. And now they have changed everything to say it's 45 days, the committee, they have crucified them unfairly. And I thank Professor Kamar for bringing the truth to this House, Mr. Speaker. Is she in order?
Senator Magar, Senator Joyce Korir, Before you proceed, I will allow you to proceed. But the point of order raised by Senator Mungatana is a valid point of order. Senator Kamar was the speaker just before you rose up, and she clarified on the matter of 45 days. And I think it was for the benefit of the House, and it was to guide the House, not to keep referring to the 45 days as something that was done by the committee. So could you please withdraw that and continue with your submission?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I will not withdraw. And the reason why I will not withdraw this, Honorable Speaker, is because the report is a progressive report. It's not a concluded report. It's still it's a progressive report. If it was a concluded report, then Honorable Speaker would have withdrawn. It means the matter is still even taking more time than expected.
Yes, Honorable Senator Joyce Korir, the fact of the matter is that this matter was sent to the committee on 1st of April. And on 17th of April, they came back to the House to make a progress report. And then thereafter, we went for recess. So 45 days have not actually lapsed. In that order, the point of order that Senator Mungatana rose on and the clarification that was given by Senator Professor Kamar would have guided you in not falling into that trap of 45 days. So I would ask you, and don't say you will not withdraw, because this is the order of the chair. If you don't withdraw, I will find you grossly out of order, and you might face the same fate as Senator Eddy faced this morning. So Senator Joyce Korir. Senator Joyce Korir.
Hope, Honorable Speaker, is not a threat.
No, I was guiding you. I was guiding you, even with the tone.
It's a guide, but not
it's a guide,
it's not
yes,
a threat, Honorable
yes.
Speaker. Yeah, what I just want to say that I will withdraw the 45 days, but still, Honorable Speaker, that the only thing that has given life to this report is the amendment by Honorable Agenda. That is the only thing. Yeah, that is the thing.
Thank you, Senator Joyce. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comments on this report, which is highly unprecedented. We are faced with a challenge which really, legally, it's an issue that can be resolved very, very easily. Mr. Speaker, the process of moving funds to a county assembly are clearly defined in the Public Finance Management Act. If you read Section 1 of 3 of the Public Finance Management Act, it sets up treasury of the county assembly. 104 puts or places the CCM finance as the head of the treasury. This is the person who communicates and deals with the control of budget. All these problems we are facing, and I've taken some time to try and understand because I've looked at the recommendations, but the recommendations given by the committee do not solve the problem. These are interim recommendations that do not provide a solution to the problem that we're having in Nyamira County. Mr. Speaker, this is an issue of a fiduciary responsibility. My brother from Nyandarua attempted to guide this House in an area where we should be actually looking at it. And I hope that the committee members were listening keenly because the distinguished senator from Nyandarua was actually leading this House to where we should be able to resolve this problem. When we have a county that has got 2 assemblies, we first of all ask our questions, what is our role as the Senate? We are the House that is supposed to protect devolution. But when you have 2 assemblies, then the issues of, 1, lack of accountability, or the issue of a fiduciary responsibility arises. I've taken some time and I've consulted with the area senator, who has clearly explained to me where the problem is. We have 2 assemblies. We have one with 12 members. We have another one with 22 members. The 12 members, the 22 members attempted to impeach, attempted to impeach the governor. When they could not succeed in impeaching the governor, now the governor now decided, I'm going to deal with these 22 MCAs. Then when he was going to deal with the 22 MCAs, the 22 MCAs decided to impeach the speaker. Now the speaker went to court. When the speaker went to court, he said that these 22 MCAs had not met the threshold. He was not given a stay. So when he was not given a stay, legally speaking, you cannot proceed. You are impeached. That is it. So, Mr. Speaker, when you follow the process, and this is why I'm saying there's a lot of collusion, and it is about time that we try to figure out where this collusion is coming from. Because if you have 2 clerks, before an assembly is funded, their money is tied to the exchequer, which is being released to the county assemblies. Before that money is released, the CCM finance, who is the head of treasury of that county assembly, is the one who has got to release a Form C so that the money can then now be sent to the assembly. So we are finding a situation here, Mr. Speaker, where there is either incompetence in the part of the CCM finance, and I wish Senator Kajwang was here, because when you read the Public Finance Management Act, I think Section 99, there are serious consequences that befall anyone who violates the PFM Act. 199. So here is it's a very simple process that we need to be able to proceed with. And Mr. Speaker, instead of beating about the bush and giving recommendation that really will not solve this problem, we should go to the bottom line. Why is the CCM finance issuing Form C to send money to people sitting in a place which is gazetted by an impeached speaker? That is where the problem is. So what we should do right now is very simple. If this Senate cannot be able to pass a resolution and make sure that resolution is implemented, other agencies should be able to move expeditiously and make arrests. The controller budget should also not be releasing money because the law, Article 2, is it 226, subsection 5? 225, subsection 6, one of the two, mandates her to release the money only when she's satisfied that that money is authorized by law. So, Mr. Speaker, just 30 seconds, because this issue is very key. So it is important. Otherwise, we will not be able to solve this problem, Mr. Speaker. We will be going back and forth. Things will not be implemented. You know, things will not be implemented. What we need to do is very clearly summon the devolution committee should work closely, or we should actually set up an ad hoc committee. Set up an ad hoc committee. The first thing we need to do is to make sure that we use Article 125 of the Constitution and summon the governor here to appear with the CCM finance. And at the same time, also ensure that we've summoned the controller of budget so that we bring sanity to this matter. Otherwise,
Your 30 seconds are up, Senator. Senator Sigei Hillary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the motion as amended. And from the very onset, Mr. Speaker, I would like to, first of all, defend the committee. The committee that was involved in this particular question has been bashed by members over allegations that they have taken more than 45 days, which is not true. And, Mr. Speaker, as a matter of fact, I have been going through the Hansard. The question, or rather the statement, was sought by Senior Counsel Okonko Mogeni on the 1st of April, and a preliminary report was tabled on 17th of April. That is barely 17 days. And interestingly, Mr. Speaker, this is what the Hansard said, and I want to quote what Senator Okonko Mogeni on that particular day said. And I wish the chairperson of committee was in the House, because he and his members ought equally to be defended for what is good they have done and are blamed for the delays that, if any, have caused. Senator Mogeni confirmed that indeed, Mr. Speaker, it is a progress report on the operational and leadership crisis affecting the County Assembly of Nyamira. I rose on a point of order on 1st of April and sought the indulgence of the committee to deal with 4 issues. I have had the opportunity to peruse through, and I thank the chairperson of the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee and his members for the attention they gave this matter and for the speed at which they have tabled the report before the House. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee members. However, I further want to give an indication and an appreciation to the Senator for Kisumu, because if the report, as was tabled earlier on by the chairperson, was as it were, then it would not have served the purpose of the statement that was sought by Senator from Nyamira County. And the reason is as black as white. It was not reflective of the concerns that were raised. And this is one of the issues, Mr. Speaker, that led to the concern that the Senator on that particular day sought the intervention of the Speaker, and 2 issues were referred to the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, which issues substantially will have been dealt if this report were to be adopted today by the amendment that has been sought by Senator Ojenda, which amendment has been adopted, and it is this which we are debating. So the committee did what they could do in the circumstances of that, and in terms of time, they had done their best. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, the amendment has indeed given life to the report, and that is why we are supporting, because the question that had been sought by Senator Omogeni are threefold. And if we were to approve, which I support, that we approve the report as amended, the issue as to the legality of the sittings by a version of the assembly which is outside the presence of the gazetted parliament, or rather assembly, is null and void. And secondly, in terms of the speaker who was impeached, it doesn't matter whether he has managed to challenge the impeachment proceedings or not. The fact of the matter is that, Mr. Speaker, the speaker, upon being impeached, went to court. He was unable to secure an injunction, and therefore he cannot in any way purport to sit. Whether he gazetted the way he purported to gazette 3 sitting places, and he christened them sittings machinani in actually 4 words, that in itself is legal, and whatever proceedings that transpired in those sittings are illegal. And therefore, even as we ask that the report should affirm the nullity of those sittings, it is upon the Speaker of the House who is supposed to be sitting to ensure that those proceedings are declared a nullity. Mr. Speaker, lastly, because of the aspect which has been raised by the members, we are dealing with two assemblies, and the chairperson of this committee alleged that the controller of budget indicated that she received requisitions. Senator Medhu has tried actually to run us through the process of requisition of funds from the controller of budget and the approval of such funds. There is highly likelihood that there is collusion between the office of the controller of budget and the legal team that is sitting in the assembly. And that is a very important and serious issue that this House must delve into, even as we attempt to resolve this issue. And I agree with Senator Olekina that besides the
Your time is up, Senator. We're running out of time. Please indulge me. Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And just to say, I'm a member, the Vice Chair of the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. I'd like to support the motion as amended and to bring it to the attention of the House that it is important that we get the record right. I would like to urge every member to read the report fully and look at the observations. If you look at observation number 10.7, actually speaks to the nullity or the illegality of the county assembly sittings that were done outside of the correct place. And that is part of what Honorable Senator Ojenda has brought in place. The only observation that is not there is around the ethics and anti-corruption, bringing in the ethics and anti-corruption. And this was because the committee resolved to actually go to Nyamira to find out what is happening on the ground. And as it did so, we were aware that it has a myriad of cases before the courts, and we are also cognizant of the need for some of those cases to be resolved. So, Honorable Chair, I think some of the people who have spoken here have not even made reference to any of the observations that we made, but have proceeded to actually erroneously bash the committee on what it has said. Honorable Speaker, as I finalize, it is also important to state that the report was tabled, and it is the House Business Committee that has put it for today, scheduled it for today. And the day the report was tabled, the Honorable Senator for Nyamira was not very satisfied, and he actually asked the Honorable Speaker to refer the legal matters to the Jailer Committee. The Jailer Committee, you will agree with me that every observation in our report is actually a legal matter. So even as the committee is preparing to go to Nyamira, you can see JLAC is also preparing to look at this matter, and I would request that all of us converge and understand that there is not one committee that does not want to get to the bottom of the truth on this matter. And as a House, we need to converge and do what we have to do, respecting matters that are before the courts and doing what we are able to do in order to help this matter to move. Honorable Speaker, as a decision is made and the report is adopted, you might want to guide the committee on devolution and intergovernmental relations, whether it is its planned activities to finalize this issue are still valid, given the comments that we have heard from colleagues. I support the report, and I will stop there for the time being. Thank you.
Senator Mariam Sheikh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support the report as amended. Mr. Speaker, as much as we fight for semi-autonomous of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, we don't encourage this kind of behavior for this county assembly. Mr. Speaker, sitting outside the gazetted area for county assembly is illegal. Mr. Speaker, I went through the reports, but the report is only showing the observation, what they have observed from the stakeholders, and without the amended reports, which has been given by the Senator Kisumu, the amendments, the reports will have been having no other actions. But when it is amended, it has a bit of action which can be taken action. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of facilitation of funds, Mr. Speaker, the controller of budgets we cannot stop the blame to the controller of budget. There is also CM, which is the approver and the releaser of the fund to the county assembly. Mr. Speaker, when they do the bunge mashinani, before even gazetted, it must be passed through motions by county assembly, so that there must be concurrency, that there must be a bunge mashinani. After that, the gazetting must be done. Mr. Speaker, with those, if there is no concurrency on the county assembly, and without that, there is illegal for the bunge mashinani to take place. Mr. Speaker, as the action has concluded, we need to investigate on misappropriation of fund. Mr. Speaker, we send the money for proper use, not for the political parties fighting each other to divide county assembly for their own agenda so that they can benefit one way or another. Mr. Speaker, to avoid this, the committee of JLAC and the devolution must have a stand. They are not supposed to give us the progressive report the way they did. They must have a concrete action for these matters to come to an end. Mr. Speaker, if we leave it like that, what's going on in county assembly is they will get an example of this Nyamira, and other 47 counties might practice on such kind of action. Mr. Speaker, to avoid this, the two committees which has been given the committed to work on this motion, they must take a very strict forward for the action to take place. Mr. Speaker, with these remarks, I support the report. Thank you.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, yeah, I was almost going to depict a character that is not mine, because I only realized that my lights had gone off, but and because I think Senator Eddy should just stick to his seat, because the day has not been very favorable around him. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this progress report with the amendments as approved, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, from the word onset, I want to say that the Nyamira County Assembly is a crime scene, Honorable Speaker. What is happening there is unacceptable. Honorable Speaker, when we reflect back to the role of the Senate is here to represent the counties and to serve to protect the interests of the counties and their governments. Madam Speaker, I am a teacher, and there has long been this thinking around the leadership of schools. We used to say that the school is as good as the head, and the head is as good as the school. And Honorable Speaker, I want to relate this to the county government of Nyamira. Honorable Madam Speaker, Nyamira county government has head of a government. And how Nyamira is run reflects on this head of government, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the county assemblies perform constitutional functions, that is oversight, representation, and legislation. And Madam Speaker, they do this on behalf of the people that elected them. And as we sit here, Madam Speaker, with the kind of scenario that is in Nyamira, it means that the people of Nyamira are not adequately being represented. It means, Madam Speaker, to me, that the executive, the county government of Nyamira is not adequately being oversighted. And Madam Speaker, it means that the people of Nyamira are suffering. Madam Speaker, there is separation of powers. We have the executive of Nyamira and we have the legislature. Madam Speaker, why I call it a crime scene, it has been brought out in the report that we have an impeached speaker, Madam Speaker. And when one is impeached, it means they are out of office. I do not accept, Madam Speaker, that an officer that is impeached can have gazette notices. Madam Speaker, where does the speaker that is impeached get the powers to send gazette notices? And Madam Speaker, there is literally a confusion that is by design to me set out in the Nyamira County Assembly. And the question I ask myself, Madam Speaker, as I rise here, is who is causing this confusion and for what reason, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, I began by saying there's a head of government in Nyamira. What is this head of government doing? Is it by design that this is a governor that does not want to be oversighted, Madam Speaker? Why does this governor encourage the running of a county without a legislative arm of a government, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, it is unacceptable because we know the mandate that the county assembly has, that the county assembly approves budgets, that the county assemblies approve development plans. Madam Speaker, the county assembly vets even county executives, and on a day-to-day, on their functionality, Madam Speaker, there are varied mandates that the county assembly oversees. What then happens if we have a county assembly that is illegal, that is non-functional? And Madam Speaker, I say it is illegal because it is not clear who is running this assembly. Madam Speaker, the county assemblies are definite. We have them referred to as the county assembly.
1 minute for the senator, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to end by saying that, and by talking to the governor of Nyamira, put your house in order and let the county assembly of Nyamira run. Your time will come to an end. Whether you want this assembly not to be disarmed, we are saying as a Senate, things must run in the county assembly of Nyamira so that Nyamira people are served well. Madam Speaker, I want to end by saying that I found the submission of the controller of budget as reckless and irresponsible. This is a state officer that must be in office to serve the people, and Nyamira County is part of the people that she's in office to serve. Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Mwaruma.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa fursa umenipa ili kuchangia na kuunga mkono moja kwa moja hii ripoti ya kamati kuhusu bunge ama serikali ya Nyamira. Mheshimiwa Spika, hili swala liliibuka wakati gavana wa Nyamira alipokuja kwa kamati ya wahasibu, ambapo tunaketi na seneta wa Nyamira Mheshimiwa Mogeni, na tukagundua ya kwamba kuna mabunge mawili. La kwanza linaloketi katika bunge ya Nyamira iliyo mkabala na nyumba ya KIE, na bunge lingine ambalo linaketi mahali ambapo si pamoja, mahali kwingi ambalo liliitwa bunge mashinani. Ningependa kushukuru Mheshimiwa Okongo Mogeni kwa kuleta hii taarifa ambayo aliuliza maswali matatu. La kwanza ni nyumba gani inayofaa kuketi bunge la Nyamira, ambayo iko katika taarifa ya gazeti la serikali. Ya pili aliuliza, je, ama uhalali wa zile sheria ambazo zinapitishwa na mabunge yote mawili, yakiwemo bajeti ya ziada. Na la tatu aliuliza hii kamiti ya devolution ni njia zipi zilizotumika kuchagua spika na clerk wapya. Mheshimiwa Spika, hii kamati imefanya kazi nzuri, ingewaji imepata mapigo, na Mheshimiwa Spika najua unaketi katika hiyo kamati, lakini katika swali la kwanza wamesema kwamba bunge ambalo ni halali ni lile ambalo linaketi mkabala na jumba la KIE huko Nyamira, na ya kwamba ile bunge mashinani ama yale mabunge ambayo yanaenda mashinani hakukuwa na azimio lolote ama resolution yoyote ya bunge la Nyamira. Na la pili, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika swali la uhalali ya zile sheria zinazopitishwa na lile bunge ambalo liko mashinani,
Senator Mogeni,
limejibiwa.
You have an interest in listening when you are talking.
Limejibiwa na ile mabadiliko katika mswada ya kwamba sheria zote zilizopitishwa na lile bunge ambalo si halali, basi zote ziwe si halali, na nakubaliana 100% na hiyo amendment. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwenda mbele, hizo sheria ambazo tunasema si halali zitachukuliwa namna gani? Kwa mfano, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna bajeti ya ziada ama supplementary budget ambayo ilipita na tayari inatumika. Kwenda mbele, zile pesa zinazotumika, je, wale ambao wanatumia zile pesa watachukuliwa hatua aina gani, Mheshimiwa Spika? La tatu ni kwamba Mheshimiwa Spika, Okongo Mogeni alitaja mambo ya Taita Taveta. Ni kweli kuna shida ya lile bunge, ingawaje si kama bunge la Nyamira, kwa sababu Taita Taveta spika alibanduliwa kupitia kwa impeachment, akaenda kotini, na wakati alienda kotini, yule aliyekuwa naibu wa spika saizi ako kama acting speaker. Kitu ambacho ningesema ni kwamba labda tuangalie sheria, ili kukiwa na kesi katika koti itachukua muda gani ili yule ambaye ni naibu wa spika aache kuwa acting speaker. Kwa sababu ile kesi ikichukua muda sana kama ya Nyamira, basi ule mkanganyiko unachukua muda mrefu, na katika katiba ama sheria hakuna acting speaker. Kuna speaker, na wakati speaker ametolewa lazima kuchaguliwa speaker. Kwa hivyo nafikiri hii kamati pia inaweza ingilia mambo ya Taita Taveta, iangalie uhalisia yale mambo ambayo yanaendelea kule Taita Taveta. Kwa hivyo mimi naunga mkono moja kwa moja ya kwamba tume ya maadili na kupigana na ufisadi iingilie ili angalie yale mambo ambayo yanatokea Nyamira, yakiwemo kutolewa pesa na control of budget.
1 minute to finish.
Asante Mheshimiwa Speaker. Kutolewa kwa pesa na control of budget kwenda kwa bunge, na pia waziri wa serikali ya Nyamira kupeana form C na kujaza ili bunge lile lipewe pesa. Kamati ama EACC iingilie kati na iangalie uhalisia na uhalali na maadili yanayotokana na hilo jambo. Mheshimiwa Speaker, naunga mkono hii ripoti, na ni kweli kwamba lazima iwe ni interim kwa sababu bado wanataka kwenda kule ili kuangalia kama wanaweza suluhisha yale mambo yaliyoko kule kisiasa. Nashukuru Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Senator Eddie Okech Gisheru, Senator for Migori County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And on a serious note, I want to thank you for readmission back to the House, recognizing that I was a little bit more passionate about the universal health care, issue that has bedeviled the workers, and sometimes the emotion ran high, but I'm grateful that you have readmitted me that it was not actually really disorderly, but it was just a misunderstanding. And I want to thank you for that, Madam Speaker. That said, Madam Speaker, any county assembly, for you to have requisitions made, we have got a county assembly service board. That county assembly service board, Madam Speaker, gets these requisitions and then writes to the head of the Treasury as established by the County Governments Act. The head of Treasury in the county, Madam Speaker, is the CCM for Finance, who then prepares Form C, signs it, sends it to control of budget. But it doesn't stop there, Madam Speaker. Anything that the County Assembly will request, among others that are sent to the CCM Finance, is also coming from the executive side. And that executive side is the governor. And those issues are canvassed within the assembly, which in this case in Nyamira, it's been found that was the assembly ran by these 12 members of the county assembly in Nyamira. So, Madam Speaker, what we are realizing here is very simple. Because the biggest finding of this report, Madam Speaker, is that these 12 members of the county assembly who call themselves Mashinani team and the impeached speaker were sitting illegally under Section 7B of the County Governments Act. So, Madam Speaker, why are we sugarcoating this issue? There is a criminal enterprise that is running in Nyamira. This is what we must stand by as a house. And this criminal enterprise, Madam Speaker, one, is constituted of, number one, the governor himself. Because it is him who makes executive decisions that go to the county assembly that is rogue, the 12 members. Then two is the 12 members who are meeting and making these decisions. Number three is the speaker who has been impeached. Number four is the CCM Finance of Nyamira. And number five, Madam Speaker, who must be held liable, is the County Assembly Service Board of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, these people must be arrested. They must be taken to court. And EACC, together with the DCI, must investigate their intention of building this criminal enterprise to siphon money of the public from Nyamira, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I'm informed. I'm not making this statement lightly. I'm informed that the governor of Nyamira is actually the party leader of UPA, which has been shown time without number to be fronting a presidential candidate. And it's nothing personal. This is the party that Honorable Matiang'i is going to run with. I don't know whether this money is being siphoned deliberately to finance a presidential campaign, for Honorable Matiang'i, Madam Speaker. So this investigation, Madam Speaker, must be done by the EACC, by the DCI, and I can tell you point blank, Madam Speaker, that this is a criminal enterprise.
Senator Eddie.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
I would suggest you don't insinuate anything that you may not be able to substantiate.
I thank you, Madam Speaker, but I'm just saying that there is a deliberate siphoning of fund here. Because all these people cannot be wrong to the extent that even the control of budget claims to be wrong, where the report says that the 22 MCAs have written to Madam Nyakango to inform her that these people are sitting illegally. So you can see that everybody who is mentioned here, Madam Speaker, I am insisting that it's a criminal enterprise because they cannot say that they're ignoring the law right from the County Assembly Service Board all the way to these MCAs. This matter must be treated as such, and we must enhance the amendments of Senator Ojienda to make sure that there is a criminal liability on the heads of these individuals, because that is what it is. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Tobiko. Oh, sorry. Senator Mogeni, sorry.
Madam Speaker, I want to begin by thanking all the senators who have made a contribution towards the motion that is on the floor of the House, Madam Speaker, and I would like to emphasize only two things. Madam Speaker, you are a member of the Devolution Committee, and you know, Mr. Speaker, that even the law that was cited, Madam Speaker, even the law that was cited in gazetting sittings outside the County Assembly premises was lacking in any legal basis. Madam Speaker, the Speaker cited Article 126(1) of the Constitution. And Madam Speaker, you and I know that Article 126(1) makes reference to sittings of Houses of Parliament. And under our Constitution, Madam Speaker, the only Houses of Parliament that are known in this Republic is the National Assembly and the Senate. Issues dealing with sittings of any county assembly outside the gazetted premises is governed by the provisions of Section 2B of the County Government Act, which requires the county assembly to put a motion on the floor, pass a resolution, Madam Speaker, before they proceed to sit in any sittings outside the county assembly gazetted premises. So I agree with the committee, Madam Speaker, when you make a finding at page 29, Roman 7, that any sittings that may have been held contrary to the provisions of Section 7B are invalid and contrary to the law. And I think, Madam Speaker, the amendment of Senator Ojienda is simply to bring that finding of the committee to be part of the interim committee recommendation. So it does not go contrary to the findings of the committee. Two, Madam Speaker, it seems, Madam Speaker, that the county government, the County Assembly of Nyamira, together with the county government of Nyamira, are running a criminal enterprise. There is no way, Madam Speaker, you can use a team of 12 MCAs to sit outside the gazetted premises, pass a budget where you saw the report that was brought by the other 22 MCAs, where, Madam Speaker, it is alleged, and I'm using the word carefully, it's alleged that the governor is supporting some companies that are associated with a certain clique of MCAs that are aligned to him. Madam Speaker, that does not support devolution. You had allegations being made that businesses that are supposed to be done by youths in the county government of Nyamira are being done by companies associated with a clique of a few MCAs. We have a role, we have a duty, Madam Speaker. We have an obligation as a Senate to defend devolution and also protect the resources that we send to our counties. I fully agree with the recommendation that have been made, not by the amendments that were introduced and that have been approved by the House, that EACC, DCI should pitch camp in Nyamira, Madam Speaker. When you see this confusion being created by the governor himself, because he's the one, Madam Speaker, as you heard from the other team of MCAs, who opts to send the approval of the budget to the group that illegally sits outside the county assembly premises. Madam Speaker, if we allow this to happen, then it's better we should have remained with the former pre-2010 Constitution. Because, Madam Speaker, the 2010 Constitution was supposed to address issues of impunity. What impunity can we talk of as a Senate, other than a situation where, Madam Speaker, and county assembly all sittings outside the parameters of the law goes on to process a budget, an appropriation is done, and money is withdrawn, and we don't see arrests, Madam Speaker? That is the highest level of impunity. If it can happen at the county assembly, Madam Speaker, the national government will also employ the same tricks, where we will say a team of members of National Assembly can go and sit somewhere else, pass a budget, and then money is withdrawn, Madam Speaker. I urge, Madam Speaker, the government institutions that have been cited in this recommendation, EACC and DCI, to move to Nyamira as soon as yesterday, Madam Speaker. Conduct investigations, Mr. Speaker, where arrests have to be made, let them be made, Madam Speaker, and those who must face the full force of the law should face the full force of the law. Madam Speaker, we are here to protect devolution. I have nothing personal against any group of MCS in Nyamira. I have nothing personal against the governor of Nyamira, but it's in the interest of I, as Senator of Nyamira, and the other senators to ensure that we do not have a situation where impunity reigns in the county government of Nyamira. Madam Speaker, finally, Madam Speaker, as late as yesterday, even after the initial recommendation that was made by the committee, we are still having a situation where we have two sets of county assemblies, we have two sets of speaker, we have two sets of clerk, we have two messes in that assembly. It's something that we cannot be proud of as a Senate, Madam.
1 minute for him to finish.
Yes, that is something that we cannot be proud of, Madam Speaker. We have a role, Madam Speaker, of ensuring that there is sanity. And if this persists, Madam Speaker, if this persists, we should be more drastic in our recommendations, Madam Speaker, and ensure that no funds will go to the county government of Nyamira if the governor does not put his assembly in order. We cannot allow this degeneration of chaos, this negative reporting every day about a great county like the county of Nyamira. And I thank you for protecting Dr. Fred Matiang'i from the insinuations that were being made by Senator Okech that he could be part of the enterprise of Governor Nyaribo. He's a clean man, Madam Speaker, and we don't want him to be associated with the level of incompetence being displayed in the county government of Nyamira. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
He's done. Senator Tobiko for... No. There's no other senator, so Senator Tobiko is actually replying on behalf of the committee.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me this opportunity to reply on behalf of the chair and on behalf of the committee, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the situation in Nyamira is complex. Madam Speaker, as the House has now heard, that the County Assembly is divided into two, a group that is holding meetings outside the usual chamber, and another team, Madam Speaker,
with a speaker, an MCA, a sitting MCA purported to be a speaker, Madam Speaker, and even court rulings that seems to complicate the situation further. Madam Speaker, let me say, members of the Committee of Devolution have listened carefully to the contributions of members. Madam Speaker, and for the comfort of the many members who have spoken and spoken passionately, the committee will take into consideration the views of members before doing the final report, Madam Speaker. And the committee is fully committed to protecting devolution, Madam Speaker, solving amicably disputes in the devolved units, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is, I'm sure it has come to the knowledge of this House that it's not only in Nyamira that we have had very complicated situations. We successfully brokered a peaceful situation in Trans Nzoia. Madam Speaker, the committee will work closely with JLAC on the arising legal issues. And Madam Speaker, I believe this House collectively, because the committee only sits on behalf of this House will collectively find a solution for Nyamira and for the other county assemblies or county governments that are having issues. And so we are determined, Madam Speaker, to listen to every view that has been given on this floor, and also we'll work very closely with JLAC, Madam Speaker. And for very obvious reasons, Madam Speaker, I will ask that the question be deferred to an appropriate time, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
It is so deferred. Next order. Senator Moruma?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. When I was presenting, I did mention the issue of Taita Taveta, and I would request you maybe using the standing orders, not limited to standing order number 1, if you can direct that the Committee of Devolution follows up on the issue of County Assembly of Taita Taveta, because the acting speaker is acting for a while, and we need to know if how they are working really is legal, and we also get a report to that effect, Madam Speaker, all in the if you may maybe order so that maybe they take over the issue. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Moruma, kindly prepare a statement to submit to the House so that the committee can pick it up. Because as Senator for Taita Taveta, I'm sure you have nitty-gritties that you would want the committee to pay attention to. So you can proceed and we will guide the committee accordingly. Honorable members, we defer order number 8, 9, 10. Next order.
Order number 11, the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2024, second reading, resumption of debate.
Senator Sigei.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Yesterday, when the House rose, I had begun to appreciate the Honorable Senator Eddy for a very well thought out legislation in seeking to support and create an opportunity for the current and future generations who are in the creative arts. And Madam Speaker just began laying down the economic value of the sector, both within the country and outside. And I further wish, Madam Speaker, to highlight the fact that creation of employment by streamlining this particular sector has really been one which, as a matter of fact, the global world has recognized lately. And the statistics I got, Madam Speaker, for instance, within Africa, is that South Africa, for example, the creative economy has availed to the job market over 679,000 job opportunities for the young and the old and all those who are involved in the creative industry. But interestingly, in Indonesia, Madam Speaker, the world statistics provides that 24 million Indonesians are actually employed within the creative sector economy. In Nigeria, we have got 3.2 Nigerians who have full-time employment, earning a greater living and establishing their future through this sector. 3.2 million, Madam Speaker, is such a great number that this particular legislation, the moment it streamlines the way we deal with those involved in this sector, we will be meeting the Kenyans by, on the one hand, ensuring that the Kenya Kwanza agenda of establishing an opportunity for the youth, this is one of the areas which we will. And I appreciate Senator Eddie for recognizing that this sector needs to be established, it needs a law to establish its procedures on how to manage, how to register, how to enhance growth, and by extension, how to unleash the full potential that is available in terms of identifying and nurturing those talents and also making sure that they monetize those talents and enhance the sustainable nature of this sector. Part of what the government previously has done, Madam Speaker, includes, for example, the Talanta Hela programs or the World Sports Day that the government has decided to decentralize it to our counties, where in those national days, there are a number of young Kenyans, whether they are in performing arts, they're in music industry, or any other creative aspect, they are allowed to perform at a fee. And I would like to say that once we have a law in place, the statements which, for instance, were made yesterday by Senator Mungatana, that those who performed in one of the functions in his county, upon their conclusion, decided to take the mic and say, we will not accept to be paid 10,000, or rather 5,000, but we would want to be paid 10,000. This bill, once it becomes law, will give an opportunity to those creative arts performers to know beforehand that we have negotiated for a certain amount, and therefore they are able to plan. So, Senator Eddie, from where you sit, know you have done a great deal to thousands and millions of Kenyans whose future are entirely reliant on their creative arts. And it also helps Kenyans and the young generation to appreciate that it is not only the white-collar job that will earn you a living. This, in fact, Madam Speaker, is where we are going to create a lot of job opportunities. In fact, part of the statistics which I picked is that the International Labour Organization, ILO, estimates that 1.4% of the global employment comes from the creative sector. That tells you we are dealing with a very lucrative area, a very futuristic law like this one will ensure that we streamline and make Kenyans and the global world to support their young ones who are keen on this. Where I come from, Madam Speaker, Bomet, is what I had said yesterday, the home of music. The home of music because across Bomet, Kericho, and Narok, the secular musicians who entertain Kenyans, not only of Kalenjin dialect, or rather those who would understand, but generally across the board, all the way from the first president of this country, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, comes President Moi. Currently, we have a great number of artists, starting from Kipchamba, who has been a great legend. He has gone into the books of history. He's been honored by the previous governments out of his ability to run through ideas, make music out of it, produce, create a lot of knowledge and information out of his artistic ability. A number of them have borrowed from him. I mentioned yesterday one whom we are going to bury this Saturday, Solomon Manori, who has also been a great singer. He has brought out the culture of the Kipsigis community through his songs. And lately we have very young ones who have run through the industry. We have got Kilel Jazz, we have got the Makiches, we've got the Vicky Brilliance of this world, who are running the industry and making a living out of it. The moment we have a law in place like this that recognizes that talent and also gives them an opportunity to have a structured way of engagement, we will, at any given time when they are invited for national functions or to perform in some events, they will be able to engage, negotiate at a fee that is sufficient to ensure that the rest of those who are aspiring to be musicians, to be artists, appreciates that we will be able to earn a living, and they'll not be fighting with the rest of the Kenyans to get to offices with white-collar jobs, as I've said, but instead they will appreciate that that is where they earn a living, and we will be reducing the fights that we have across in dealing with it. And Madam Speaker, besides the musicians, the MCs who run programs in our various institutions, in events which are organized, can also benefit greatly from this particular law. Madam Speaker, allow me now to make certain comments on the various provisions of this act. And as I have stated, the definition that is under Clause 2 recognizes almost all aspects of activities or trade which are within the creative economy, one of which, of course, artistic, cultural, innovative, fashion industry, publication, advertisement, crafts, music, audio. In this definition, Senator Eddy has attempted to capture almost all sectors or all areas which fall under this particular creative sector and creative economy. And I would only wish to comment on a number of clauses. Number one is clause number 7. I would like to propose to Senator Eddy to, instead of making reference to the guild, he make clause 7 to make reference to an establishment of a council. This council will be the head, where now the rest can be the guilds from their various sectors which we have identified, I believe, under clause 19. I'll speak to it in a moment, so that we make clause 7 to read that there is established a creative industry council. This council will be under the relevant ministry, and the board that will be established will be the council that will be under clause 7, so that we can retain the guilds at the lower level, but then the apex entity that will support is going to be the council. That proposal, Madam Speaker, will ensure that besides naming the rest as guilds, then the council itself can be the body that runs. And I appreciate the provisions of clause 7DEF that gives the role to the council, if you will approve or agree with that proposal on amendment, to ensure that part of their role is to protect the intellectual property of the creative artists. And by doing so, you will be sensitizing the importance of registration, the importance of ensuring that their works are properly produced by registered entities, and that is what is covered by clause D, E, and F. I only propose that we make that amendment. And similarly, promotion of programs. Once it is an established council, the objective of ensuring that you run programs to promote the various categories of artists or creative arts will support the council in ensuring that the funds or resources generated are properly managed by that council. Clause 8, which gives the board, in this case, or rather the guild that gives the advice to the board. You have proposed that a membership of 9 members be created. One being a member nominated by the film industry. I would like to propose, subject of course to your approval, Senator Eddy, that you combine the opportunity given to persons representing literary arts industry and those representing visual arts industry. And the extra position that is availed thereafter goes to those representing the music industry, that is under clause 8C. Reason being, we have got a good number of artists who are in this sector coming from the music industry, so that we have one person representing those in the film industry, we have got 2 members representing those in the music industry, we have got 1 representing the fashion industry, and another one representing the software development and gaming industry. Then we combine literary and visual arts to bring 1 member to this board. And of course, finally, those in the dance industry can be a standalone. Further, I would wish that we also ensure that we provide for a manner in which these respective groups can nominate their representatives, such that, if it is possible, introduce a clause that allows them at their grassroots level to conduct an election, so that they do their own independent election as represented as members of the film industry, forward to the council 1 member. Those who are involved in the music industry conduct their grassroots elections and forward 1 member. If you were to agree, introduce a clause after clause 8 to be clause 8.2, that clause 8.2, yes, clause 8.1a, introduce clause 8.1a that will give the sector an opportunity to elect their representatives from the grassroots level and forward the proposed or the elected member's name to the council, or rather to the cabinet secretary for appointment as a member of the council. That way, you will avoid the council being involved in sector elections, or rather sector nominations of representatives who will sit in the council. And in terms of the term of office, 4 years is a reasonable period for members of a board to work towards changing the policy and implementing such a policy. So I would agree with the proposal under clause 10 that their term of office be a period of 4 years. However, whoever has been elected should not be re-elected. That way, it will give an opportunity to as many members of these various groups to participate in leadership. I like the proposal that a representative appointed by the Law Society of Kenya, though I do not understand the justifications under this particular clause that you've given them a slot, but I appreciate the fact that the person representing the Law Society of Kenya, as well as the public officer who has been appointed by the cabinet secretary, do not stand an opportunity to be elected as chairperson or vice chairperson of that committee, because this is an appointed person, and therefore it is prudent to allow the members to have their own to be elected as chairperson as long as they are not appointed. Under clause 13, I am very happy about this particular clause, Senator Eddy. Why? Because unlike the other organizations and other established councils we have created in the previous bills or acts, you have not created another body. That will require an appointment of a CEO, that will require resources, because this bill seeks to make sure that the money that is obtained out of the creative arts goes directly to the people who are benefiting. Having the cabinet secretary to designate an appropriate administrative unit is quite a very good provision. And I appreciate you for this, because this way we are not creating an agency. We are not utilizing public resources to create another position for a CEO or for generating a...
Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m. Time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, 15th May 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Senator Sigei, you have 3.5 minutes left before you finish.